Welcome to the Two Becoming One podcast. My name is Carrie Vaughn, and we're in the middle of a series that is addressing cultural myths that shape the way we think about marriage and family. And today, I'm going to address the myth that says sacrifice leads to losing yourself. Okay, so husbands, please do not tune out. I will share directly with the wives at first, but I need you to realize that the messaging your wife is receiving over and over again is hypnotizing us into sitting in a worldview that is just not a Christian one. And then I will talk to both of you about how we can come to a place of mutual understanding. All right, here we go. I feel like I'm losing myself. I need to take care of me. The life I built no longer fits the person I am becoming. You are never wrong about you. Everything I want, feel, or desire is true. This relationship just isn't serving me. Nobody is coming to save you. It's up to you and only you. In the 30 minutes I spent on social media with various women influencers, I came across at least a dozen similar sayings. These are statements I hear pretty regularly as a woman who is only marginally on the internet. The messaging for us women is to maintain the upper hand at all times and to make sure that we put ourselves first and that that's our life goal. This message is so loud. Now, are there elements of truth in these statements? Yeah, of course. But we need to make sure that we are healthy in all of these areas. And also, I will say that these statements have grown from things that we should be aware of into these mantras for true womanhood. And being a wife hasn't given us an escape hatch from the influence of this messaging. Okay, so ladies, I realize there's some landmines I'm walking through here, and there are legitimate situations where there is physical harm, physical abuse, and I want those women to get the help that you need. But what I want to address is kind of the nuancing, and I want us to have like an open heart to receive what the Lord might have for us. So if you find yourself reacting strongly, just take a second, pray, and ask God if there's even a 1% truth in the statement that maybe frustrated you. So many of us, I think, fall into a category of where there's not like intense abuse, but we are simply itching for something more. We've taken the bait that there's something or someone better out there for us. We minimize the contentment that comes in sacrifice. The number of women in their 40s and beyond who are walking away from 20, 30, and 40-year marriages is staggering. Never have we seen women en masse leaving their marriages for reasons that aren't abuse or adultery. They are simply walking away because we've been told that if a relationship doesn't serve us, then we can discard it. We believe that if we can just burn it all down and start over, then we get a clean slate. The thing we don't hear is that burning it all down leaves a scorched land. We are being led by a magnetic force of hyper-individualism, a worldview that says that we are most important and anything or anyone who gets in the way of our personal happiness should be removed from our lives. This is putting husbands in a hopeless situation. They will never be everything you need or want. They'll leave dishes out again. They'll forget the kids' lunches. They'll sleep in too late. They will disappoint you. But here's the thing. You will do similar to him. You will disappoint him as well. Welcome to a marriage of two humans. Before knowing Christ, Ephesians remind us that we will want to gratify the cravings of the flesh and follow its desires and thoughts. This sounds exactly like those statements that I read off in the beginning. Following our thoughts, pursuing our own desires, claiming we alone know what's best for ourselves. That was our old self. So if the Bible describes our old self as that way, then what should the new self look like? Well, again, according to Ephesians, it's the opposite of pursuing your own desires. It's being self-controlled, forgiving, having a new, renewed mind. We are God's handiwork. There are these incredible good works that we get to do. Our lives are folded into a story that says, I will serve others out of grace and sacrifice because that's what Jesus did for me. We are always beholden to something. I would assert that the currents of culture are stronger than we think. If you find yourself counting all the ways that your husband's wrong or not helping, you're building contempt. If you find yourself irrationally angry because your child has another request for a snack, you're building resentment. In these types of reactions, it's an assumption that your family's purpose is to make you happy and make your life easy at all times, but this is just not going to happen. Marriage is hard. Parenting can feel like a never-ending cycle of laundry and Cheerio dust. This is just the truth. Life is busy and hard, period. So for both husbands and wives, our call is to keep showing up when we're tired. It's to clean up that playroom yet again because this is how we care for our family. These things aren't holding you back. They're forming you forward. They're creating in your future self a larger capacity for love and patience and good for those around you. If our former selves were slaves to our own desires, what actually changes now? Well, Jesus. We now get to be tethered to Jesus and the ways that he wants us to live and move in the world. When we are focused solely on what we want to make us feel good, we're going to miss out on a life that is filled with the joy, adventure, peace, and comfort in knowing Jesus. He's able to do immeasurably more than we could ask or imagine. We have an old self that we need to put down. Our new self is one that serves our husbands, and husbands, you in the same way, serve and sacrifice for your wives. Mutual sacrifice and service leads to mutual contentment. While the myth of sacrifice is that you'll completely lose yourself, I would say that serving your family sacrificially is exactly where your true self will be found. Because we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works. Service and sacrifice are woven into who we are as a new creation. We are not lost. We do not need to find and save ourselves. Jesus has already done that. And he looks at us and says, you are mine. Now let's go love the world.